Shohei Spotlight.
Shohei Ohtani, known as the two-way unicorn for achieving various remarkable feats in MLB, has captivated the world with his dual talents. How did he become a two-way player? Chapter 1. Shohei Ohtani's childhood. I want to play baseball with this team too. Today, Shohei Ohtani is celebrated worldwide as a two-way player excelling in Major League Baseball, but he started as an ordinary child. Born on July 5, 1994 in Mizusawa City, Iwate Prefecture, Shohei was the youngest of three siblings in a family of athletes. His father, Toru, was a former corporate league baseball player, and his mother, Kayoko, was a skilled badminton player who had competed at the National Sports Festival level. As soon as he could walk, Shohei would play tirelessly in the spacious fields and parks near his home. Occasionally, he even joined his mother's badminton friends, swinging a racket with enthusiasm. From an early age, Shohei loved physical activity and was always on the go. By kindergarten, he had started swimming lessons and quickly progressed thanks to his natural athletic ability. By the 4th grade, Shohei was swimming faster than most 6th graders in his swimming class. Shohei's drive to excel stemmed in part from his admiration for his eldest brother, 7 years his senior. Whether in team sports or swimming, Shohei constantly followed his brother's lead, determined to surpass him. It was only natural that he became interested in baseball, his brother's latest passion, soon after entering elementary school. In the fall of his second year in elementary school, Toru brought Shohei to a Mizusawa Little League practice after being introduced to the team by a friend. With shining eyes, Shohei exclaimed, "I want to play baseball with this team too." That declaration marked the beginning of Shohei's journey into baseball. How was Shohei raised? Shohei's mother, Kayoko, reflects on his upbringing. People often ask me how he raised him, but honestly, we didn't have any particular parenting motto or family rules. I simply showered my children with love and care. Shohei, being the youngest of three, benefited from the experience we gained with his older siblings, which gave us more emotional and practical leeway. We also lived in a place surrounded by wide open spaces, so he would play outside to his heart's content and come home completely exhausted. I think growing up in Iwate's environment played a significant role. Despite her modesty, Kayoko's natural parenting style likely contributed to Shohei's development. Shohei's father, Toru, also shares his perspective. There wasn't any particular discipline or strict rules in our household. It was all very ordinary. We made a point of greeting each other with good morning and good night, and tidying up our own plates after meals. Just small, everyday actions like these. I thought that if parents modeled these behaviors, children would naturally follow suit. That's about all I can think of. Both parents emphasized the importance of normalcy and instilling fundamental values. They wanted Shohei to grow up simply being able to do the basics in life with consistency. With his parents' athletic genes and the vast open environment of Iwate, Shohei had the perfect setting to thrive. A rare incident of reprimand. Shohei reportedly never went through a rebellious phase and has little memory of being scolded at home. However, there was one occasion when his father Toru raised his voice at him. "Don't get upset over such a small thing." The incident occurred when Shohei was either in kindergarten or just starting elementary school. He had received a notebook featuring the wildly popular Harry Potter series, but part of the cover was slightly peeling when he got it. Dissatisfied, young Shohei tried to fix it by coloring over the flaw himself. However, when it didn't go as planned, he became frustrated, cried, and lashed out, demanding, "Who ruined it?" His mother Kayoko recalls the moment. "I think he was upset that the notebook didn't look the way he wanted. He cried and got really mad to the point of accusing others. But this was the only time Toru raised his voice at Shohei." When asked about the incident, Shohei smiled and said, "I don't remember it at all." In Chapter 2, we'll delve deeper into the relationship between Shohei and his father, Toru. Chapter 2, Shohei and his father. My father was my baseball coach and manager until middle school, so I spent more time with him on the field than at home. Shohei Ohtani received his father Toru's coaching from elementary through middle school. Typically, children in Japan join a youth baseball team with soft-core baseballs in their 3rd year of elementary school. However, Shohei insisted on joining a hardball Little League team instead. Watching his older brother play hardball likely influenced his decision, making him think, it's better to start with hardball from the beginning. Reflecting on that time, Toru recalls, "I thought hardball might be too physically demanding for a second grader, but considering he would eventually play with hardballs in high school, I figured it might be good for him to get used to them early. That decision required me to commit as well. I volunteered to coach the Little League team and was prepared to sacrifice some of my work to support Shohei's baseball journey." Toru's decision was also driven by a sense of regret about his eldest son, Ryuta, who is 7 years older than Shohei. When Ryuta was young, he played baseball with a local youth team and continued through middle school. At the time, I was so busy with work that I couldn't dedicate much time to teaching him baseball or even playing catch. It's something that stayed with me. That's why I wanted to make a greater effort to guide Shohei in baseball. This experience fueled Toru's determination to spend as much time as possible nurturing Shohei. The glimpse of talent. One moment that revealed Shohei's potential came shortly after he began playing baseball. Toru decided to change Shohei's batting stance from right-handed to left-handed. Not long after switching to left-handed batting, he started hitting balls far into the outfield within a year. That's when I realized he had incredible batting talent. Toru, who had also transitioned from right to left batting during his playing days, took 3 years to master it. Shohei, however, accomplished this in just 1 year, a feat that astonished his father. Father's coaching philosophy. As a coach, Toru focused on sharpening Shohei's batting skills while offering basic advice on pitching. I wasn't a pitcher, so my advice on pitching was limited to encouraging proper form and ensuring he threw with good spin and control. But when it came to batting, I was very particular and probably a bit strict. I taught him to aim for the opposite field, to make big follow-throughs. Looking back, the instructions might have been a bit advanced for a grade schooler. Thanks to this meticulous coaching, Shohei developed exceptional batting skills early. Often practicing with boys 2 grades ahead of him, he became a local star by the 5th grade. When he stepped into the batter's box, opponents would move their infielders to the outfield. His reputation grew as a dominant player, striking out batters with blazing fastballs and hitting home runs. Lessons in defeat. Despite his dominance, Shohei faced defeat in significant tournaments. In 5th grade, his team finished as runners-up in the Tohoku Regional Tournament, and in 6th grade, they reached the semifinals. These losses left a mark on Shohei, who hated losing. The frustration became a driving force in his relentless practice regimen. Shohei also became acutely aware of his father's dual role as a coach and parent. Even as a child, he understood the implications of being the coach's son. If I were the coach, I'd do the same. If 2 players were equally skilled, I'd give the spot to someone other than my son. That's just common sense. So for me to earn a place on that team, I had to have overwhelming talent that everyone could agree on. I understood that, even as a kid, so I always felt the need to perform at my best. Being the coach's son meant that Shohei couldn't afford to be merely good. He had to be exceptional. This understanding drove Shohei to seek unmatched strength, pushing himself to levels that would earn not just his father's approval, but the respect of everyone around him. Chapter 3. A middle school era overflowing with talent. By the time Shohei was in his first year of middle school, he had already mastered the techniques that even some adult players struggled with. At that point, there wasn't much left for me to teach him. Shohei Ohtani's middle school years were a showcase of his extraordinary abilities. In one game during his first year, he struck out 17 of the 18 outs recorded, completely dominating the opposition. The head coach of Setagaya Senior Baseball, Mr. Horai, who faced Shohei in a competition, recalls, "I'd heard the rumors, but seeing him in action, there was no doubt. He was destined to be a professional player. His skills were already perfect. Fast, aggressive on the base paths, hitting, pitching, everything. I remember him going 3 for 3 with about 5 stolen bases in one game. He was already throwing in the upper 80 miles per hour. He casually hit off pitchers from Japan's middle school national team. Honestly, I thought he could skip high school and go straight to the pros," he said with a mix of awe and humor. A family's unwavering support. During middle school, Shohei joined the Ichinoseki senior baseball team. Once again, his father Toru stepped up to volunteer as a coach. Ichinoseki's practice schedule was demanding, sessions on Wednesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Despite working rotating day and night shifts, Toru adjusted his schedule to attend practices as often as possible. Traveling to Ichinoseki's practice field took 40 minutes each way. Balancing a taxing job with coaching was grueling, but Toru never considered cutting corners. Ever since Shohei started playing baseball in 2nd grade, I stopped spending time with friends or coworkers. But it wasn't a sacrifice. I genuinely enjoyed playing baseball with my sons more. Even after a night shift, I found myself naturally heading to practice. It was something I looked forward to, Toru reflects. Shohei's mother Kyoko also played a significant role, dedicating weekends to support her son. After completing housework, she and Shohei's older sister would regularly attend practices. The Ohtani family spent their weekends at the baseball field, sharing time together. They never went on family vacations, but the time spent around baseball created lasting bonds. Kyoko remembers Shohei's early years fondly. After playing hard all day, he'd fall asleep on the couch while I was preparing dinner. Once he was out, you couldn't wake him up. I'd have to carry him to bed and he'd sleep through the night, sometimes 12 hours straight. At the table, he'd ask, "How much do I have to eat?" He wasn't picky, but he wasn't very interested in food either. On the other hand, he loved milk and drank about a liter daily. He grew about 8 inches during middle school. He was 6'1" by the time he graduated. The Baseball Notebook, a father-son collaboration. From the time Shohei was in the 3rd grade until he graduated middle school, he and Toru maintained a shared baseball notebook. This small campus-style notebook, labeled Baseball Notebook, became a record of Shohei's development. In it, Shohei wrote reflections on his performance, detailing what went well, what didn't go well, goals for improvement. Toru would then provide feedback, offering advice and encouragement. This notebook became a form of communication between father and son, akin to a shared diary. Toru emphasized 3 basic principles, which he reiterated throughout Shohei's formative years. 1. Play with energy and enthusiasm. 2. When playing catch, practice throwing with purpose and precision. 3. Run with maximum effort at all times. Although these principles are commonly taught in youth baseball, few players carry them into adulthood, let alone a professional career, except for Shohei Ohtani. Shohei reflects on these teachings. The 3 principles are basic, but I still remember them. They're reminders that apply at any level of the game, especially the idea of running with maximum effort. It's not just about the act itself, but also the attitude it represents. This baseball notebook symbolizes the unwavering commitment and bond between father and son. It served as the foundation for Shohei's relentless work ethic and discipline, qualities that continue to define his success at the highest levels of the game. Chapter 4. Meeting the Perfect Mentor. Enrolling at Hanamaki Higashi High School. Shohei Ohtani's middle school team was not among the elite, so only 4 high schools reached out to recruit him. However, all 4 were regular participants in Japan's prestigious National High School Baseball Tournament. After attending open school visits with his father, Toru, and carefully evaluating each school's strengths, Shohei chose Hanamaki Higashi High School in Iwate Prefecture. He probably thought to himself, "I'll lead this team to a national high school championship." His competitive nature pushed him to choose a local Iwate school rather than an out-of-prefecture powerhouse like Sendai Ikue, says Toru. But I was relieved because Hanamaki Higashi also emphasizes character development. One deciding factor for Shohei was Hanamaki Higashi's history. Even with star players like future MLB player Yusei Kikuchi, the team had never won a national high school championship. This challenge ignited Shohei's drive. A transformative education under coach Hiroshi Sasaki. Shohei's decision to attend Hanamaki Higashi proved pivotal. Under the guidance of head coach Hiroshi Sasaki, widely respected for his logical approach and focus on personal growth and development, Shohei flourished. Shohei is the type who constantly updates himself. As long as you provide the right environment and talk things through, he'll grow on his own, says Sasaki. Sasaki's mentorship extended beyond technical skills, instilling values and critical thinking in his players. Shohei reflects on this. What I learned at Hanamaki Higashi was the importance of striving to make the right decisions. It's not just about making the right choice, but striving to do so. That's what I was taught. Living in the school dorms marked another significant shift for Shohei. It was my first time learning from mentors other than my parents, and it made a big difference. Even hearing the same advice from someone else carries a different weight. High school really changed me. In middle school, I wasn't very serious about things, but the structured dorm life helped me become more disciplined. I started thinking more and doing things properly. Of course, Coach Sasaki scolded me plenty of times, Shohei recalls with a laugh. A historic feat, the fastest pitch in high school history. Under Coach Sasaki's guidance, Shohei's skills developed rapidly. By his senior year, he recorded a jaw-dropping 99-mile-per-hour fastball in the Iwate Prefectural semifinals, setting a national high school record. From the start, Sasaki had set lofty goals for Shohei. 99 miles per hour is realistic for you, so let's aim for 101 miles per hour. If your target is 101 miles per hour, you'll hit 99 miles per hour. If you aim for 99 miles per hour, you might stop at 98 miles per hour. Shohei's remarkable performance attracted attention from scouts across Japan and abroad, solidifying his place as a top draft prospect. Struggles on the national stage. Despite his talent, Shohei's high school years were not without challenges. Hanamaki Higashi reached the national high school tournament twice during his time. The first time, summer of his second year. Shohei pitched against Teikyo High School while nursing a hip injury. Despite limited practice, he threw a 93-mile-per-hour fastball and hit a deep shot off the left field wall, showcasing his two-way potential. At the time, his slender frame and oversized uniform hinted at his untapped potential. And his second time, spring of his third and final year. In the first round, Shohei faced Osaka Toin, led by future professional star Shintaro Fujinami. Although Shohei hit a solo home run off Fujinami, he struggled as a pitcher, giving up 9 runs over 8 2/3 innings. His final summer ended with a loss to Morioka Daifu High School in the Iwate Prefectural Finals, denying him a return to the National High School Championship. Potential recognized despite setbacks. Injuries and growing pains limited Shohei's high school achievements, but his raw talent was undeniable. His elite batting instincts, powerful pitching, and immense potential left scouts in awe. By the time he graduated, every professional team in Japan was eager to sign him. The combination of Shohei's natural talent, Sasaki's mentorship, and the disciplined environment of Hanamaki Higashi created a solid foundation for his meteoric rise. Chapter 5: The Fateful Draft. There's zero chance I'll join Japanese professional baseball. The Crossroads, MLB or NPB? In 2012, just before the NPB draft, Shohei Ohtani had his sights firmly set on playing in Major League Baseball. Sports headlines across Japan screamed, "Ohtani, to challenge the majors." His unwavering decision made it clear to Japanese teams that drafting him would be a gamble. Most refrained from using their first-round pick on a player who seemed destined for the US. I have made up my mind to play in America. Even though a Japanese team drafts me, I will stand by my decision to play in the MLB. Right now, I'm determined to play in the United States, Shohei declared confidently. A bold gamble, the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters. Despite the overwhelming odds, Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters manager Hideki Kuriyama, who would go on to coach and win gold with Shohei in the World Baseball Classic 2023, made a bold announcement. "I'm sorry, Ohtani-kun, but we're gonna draft you. It's a decision that will benefit you too." True to his word, the Fighters used their first-round pick on Ohtani, sparking disbelief and intrigue across the baseball world. Challenging negotiations. Ohtani, steadfast in his MLB ambitions, expressed gratitude for the Fighters' recognition, but remained firm. "I was surprised and a little shaken by their decision, but my feelings haven't changed. There's no chance I'll join them." Undeterred, the Fighters launched a relentless campaign to persuade him. General Manager Masao Yamada personally traveled to Ohtani's hometown in Iwate Prefecture multiple times, demonstrating the team's commitment. Even so, initial meetings were sparse and fraught with difficulty. To strengthen their case, The fighters crafted a detailed 30-page dossier titled Shohei Ohtani's Path to His Dream, a study on early overseas transfers in Japanese sports. This meticulously prepared document wasn't a plea for Ohtani to join the fighters, but a roadmap for achieving his lifelong goal of becoming the best player in the world. It analyzed how starting in NPB could better prepare him for MLB success compared to directly entering the minor leagues. The decisive words. While the document stirred Ohtani's thoughts, it was Kuriyama's heartfelt appeal that truly resonated. Let's make history together as a two-way player. Walk a path no one else has taken. Kuriyama's vision of forging a new legacy profoundly impacted Ohtani. After countless discussions and moments of reflection, he decided to join the fighters. Reflecting on the turning point, Ohtani later said, "Even after the draft, I was still focused on playing in America. But as the fighters kept coming to talk with me, their passion and Kuriyama-san's vision started to resonate. I began to feel that this was the right place to push myself and grow." A historic decision. Kuriyama shared his approach with the media, explaining, "I asked them to consider what was truly best for Shohei Ohtani's future. Why should he play in Japan first? What could he learn here that he wouldn't in the minors? I shared what I'd observed from years of covering minor league systems. This wasn't just about us. It was about setting him up for long-term success." Without this extraordinary effort by the fighters, Ohtani's path to becoming a two-way phenomenon might never have materialized. The moment he decided to join Nippon Ham was, without a doubt, a historic turning point for both Japanese baseball and Shohei's career. The fighters' unwavering determination and Kuriyama's visionary leadership paved the way for Shohei Ohtani to redefine the boundaries of modern baseball.